Good morning, Sagittarius. I hope whenever you're seeing this, you have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night. Whatever just feels right. I'm going to be delivering one of your messages from Spirit today to see what they got to say. So, yeah, man. I'm writing your name down in the book to keep a ledger of when I last read you. I did an energy check in on the 13th. I did a relationship reading for you on the 30th. And then I did also a vibe check in for you on the 6th. So, yeah, I figured I'd stop by before I go to work. So I was just like, I can push it. I can make it another time. So I don't know what's going to come out for you, but I felt like just reading some tarot. See what's up. To see what's up. You got the Magician, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the King of Pentacles. So, Sagittarius, it definitely looks like, you've been working hard. You've been working really hard. You're manifesting something right now for yourself. You've been definitely putting in the time and the dedication into whatever it is that's your craft. I really feel like you look at this as that it's going to bring you, some type of good fortune, some type of money, something really good coming out. You know, you've been working on this for a while, Sagittarius. And I feel like you have these big dreams backing it on why you're doing it. It looks like you've been doing this in the early morning. Maybe you go to work early in the morning, or maybe this is what you're doing, is working on your craft in the early morning. You could be possibly studying something. You're very passionate about what you're putting your work into, how hard you've been working. You know what I mean? And I feel like whatever sneaky behavior that has been going on behind your back, especially if you're working for others, if this is like a workplace dynamic, you know what I mean? I feel like it is going to come to light. Whatever's done in the dark ultimately does come to light, right? And I feel like whatever was unjust and unfair to you that made cause you to feel like you got you know, you got left off the island or some shit, or like, cause you to feel like you're missing out on opportunity. I always see that there's more opportunities lining up for you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is your justice. Definitely, for sure. Especially if, like, say this was a work dynamic and people are doing a lot of stuff behind you, and you got locked, like you got fired or something, or let go or something like that. I feel like this was the catalyst to starting your own shit, or doing something like that, or what I mean, catching the people that were, I guess, doing shady shit, man. They were trying to get away with a lot, and maybe you didn't expect this to happen, but ultimately it did. But this is part of your come up, in my opinion. So maybe you're just talking about this right now, man. You're just talking about this. But this is also your justice. This is liberating. This is liberating you, in my opinion. This is liberating. I definitely feel like you've been sending some messages out. There's been a lot of, like, swift action. Like, I feel like you might have gotten this message and you were on to the next thing just like that. You know what I mean? It was like, that was very quick. That was very sudden, you know? But I feel like that was very quick and that was very sudden, but this is your truth. You're just standing on business about this. You know what I mean? Whatever you're focused on, like, it's not like you're not letting any sneaky behavior or else you really, you know what I mean, really dominate your life. Because like ultimately, like your justice is, starting your shit, doing what's really bringing you, bringing you happiness. Something really is bringing you happiness. Whatever you're really working on right now, it really is bringing you some type of happiness, in my opinion. You know, I don't know. I feel like it's your determination. I just see something really you're passionate about, man. It's like you're almost kind of guiding yourself with like one of those torches, like, yeah, like a staff or something that you light a torch with. Like if you really look, it kind of looks like that. Looks like you're guiding yourself out of, whatever, the enemy tried to set up for you, but ultimately didn't stop you from your motion. Did not stop you from the motion. Okay. Sometimes it be like that. People see you got shit and it works for yourself. You know what I mean? Some people will try to tear you down. It's a crab in a bucket type of timing. Some people got that crab in a bucket type of energy. They're broke, they're destitute. You know what I mean? They're left out in the cold and they look raggedy and they tried to do things to hate on you. Even if this was a work environment, maybe you had some jealous ass coworkers, you know what I mean? Hating on you. Just hating on you for no reason. Maybe that, like, even if you felt like at one point you were down bad and shit like that, Sagittarius, it's like you got the fuck up and you kept it moving. You know what I mean? And these people still stayed in this broke energy. Bruh. These people just stayed in this broke ass energy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's how it be sometimes. That's how it be sometimes. You know what I mean? That's just crazy, but that's how it be sometimes. Shit. People just be like that sometimes. They got no business being like that, but they see that either you are a queen or a king of pentacles. They know that you're rich in spirit. You know what I mean? They know that like your spiritual wealth, that shit shows in good health and good favor and in kind, you know? And people just can't stand that, bruh. People cannot stand that you had the determination to keep moving forward. That's crazy. I didn't expect this to be like a hater reading, but it seems like they just can't stand that you have this strength, this willpower. They can't stand it, Sagittarius. And that's wild. That's wild. That is wild. You know what I mean? It takes two people to tangle. But it takes one person to walk away. That's wild. They reap the credit. Huh? Yeah. You had these people all up in their head. Or this is how you felt. It was just a tough time. It was a tough time, whatever you was dealing with at one point in time, but you overcame these obstacles. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's just these people are probably all up in their head, or you had yourself all up in your head about this, you know? But people really can't stand how strong you are. I'm gonna pick you on an angel number, and I'm gonna conclude the reading here, dude. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be dealing with a Gemini. You could be dealing with a Leo. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You know what I mean? You could be dealing with a Libra. You could be dealing with a an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let me pull you out an angel number, and then I gotta get my baby up, and then I gotta get ready to go to work. Now, 1414. Unique skills, life goals, purpose, mastery, integrity, career growth, ambition, focus, important projects. This is the time for intense self development. Focus on refining your craft. You already have everything you need to succeed, but consistent practice will make you a true master. Use this time to align with your purpose and level up in your career or business. It's time to prioritize growth and achievement. Oh, 1441. My bad, I said 1414. I have a tattoo that has that. But all right, man. I'm out. Have a good morning, Sag. Bye.